effects of the eurozone debt crisis continue to ripple around the market globally. Joining me to discuss how he thinks the struggling euro will compare against some of the most traded currencies is Alexandre Kateb, Managing Director at Finance Competence. Now firstly, we had the EU summit last week and central bank meetings this week. Do you think EU leaders and government officials in the 17-nation bloc are doing enough to try and restore market confidence?
I think that the eurozone summit that was held in Brussels was really instrumental to restore market confidence in a way, because there was a breakthrough in this summit regarding the role of the European bailout fund that will now be able to buy directly sovereign bonds on the markets, especially for the periphery countries and Italy in the first place. And this will relieve the market pressure on these countries' refinancing for some time, and also the fact that the bailout fund now can recapitalize directly the banking sectors in countries like Spain, where this is much needed at the moment, without imposing further austerity measures on these countries. And I think this is a very positive move. It shows that there is a growing awareness among the European leaders that there is a need of stronger moves, of stronger measures to contain this crisis and to move toward the greater financial and fiscal integration at the European level. So I think the summit actually was a good surprise.
This week is a mixed bag for the US, with Independence Day on Wednesday slowing the market down before the release of NFPs on Friday. What effects do you think these events will have on the euro-dollar?
It's more fundamentally linked to the fundamentals for the US economy that are better than for the eurozone, because you have this gradual recovery in the housing market, in the US housing markets, that is starting to regain from the heavy losses that it took from the crisis, and this will eventually restart stronger the US economy, although there are some negative headwinds coming from Europe and coming from other areas at the moment in the US, but I'm confident about the potential of the US economy to resist to these headwinds and to recover much faster than the European economy or than the Japanese economy, for example. So overall, I think the dollar will still appreciate against the euro.
The euro has been trading in a narrow range as traders remain cautious ahead of the central bank meetings. Some analysts are expecting more QE from the Bank of England and perhaps as much as 50 basis point cuts from the ECB. What are you expecting, and what are your projections for the euro pound in the short, mid and long term?
I'm expecting the Bank of England to move forward in its quantitative easing and purchase of bonds by another 50 billion pound. This was expected in June, but there was an opposition from some members of the MPC to this extension, and now I think they are all convinced that they should do more to support the ailing British economy. And we see the data in the UK is not good as well, and the manufacturing is contracting, and this is also the case in the eurozone. So I think they will try to use every flexibility they have to support the British economy, and this will eventually be good for the sterling, because investors will look at the positive effect on market yields on the gilt, and this will reinforce the safe haven status of the gilt of the sterling against the euro and probably move the sterling to historical highs against the euro in the coming months.
With regards to the euro yen, some analysts are expecting it to grind sideways until Friday release of the non-farm payroll numbers, in the belief that this pair tracks risk appetite from around the world. Do you agree with this sentiment, and what are your predictions for this pair and why?
Well, I think the relation between the yen and the risk appetite has been kind of weakening in the last few months. This is not such a good indicator as it was in the past because of these huge, quantitative easing policies that were conducted everywhere, and because of this crisis in the eurozone that kind of broke this relation between the yen and the global risk appetite. I see the yen appreciating modestly against the euro because of this downward trend that the euro is facing right now against all the other major economies. But I think the Bank of Japan will contain this appreciation of the Japanese yen against the dollar first, and then against the euro. They will tolerate some appreciation against the euro, but not against the dollar, and this will limit the overall positive movement for the yen.
Alexandre, it's been a pleasure. Sadly, that's all we have time for today, but the DukascopyTv team will be bringing you the latest market news throughout the week, so stay tuned.